I was blessed, to make smart investments,
Yeah.
outside the ring, just in the real estate world and a lot of other places that I was able to put my family in a position that, I took the long road so they could take the short road.
You're never gonna stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop.
I gave the sport of boxing my whole life. I dedicated my whole life to the sport of boxing. And all I ever wanted to do was put my family, my mother, my father, in a comfortable position. My dad is a millionaire.
Floyd Mayweather clapped back after Stephen A. Smith suggested the former champ might be having money problems. In a recent response full of confidence, Mayweather shut down the talk. He said, "People will always judge whether you're winning or losing." He explains that no matter what you do in life, people will always have something to say. So, if you're going to be judged anyway, you might as well do what makes you happy. Floyd made it clear he doesn't live to please everyone, but if he can entertain people, he will. This message shows the way Floyd has always lived, doing things his way, no matter what others say. His calm but strong reply shows the mindset that made him a boxing legend and a smart promoter. He's never afraid of the spotlight and made it clear that the noise doesn't bother him. He's focused on doing what he loves.
People are going to always judge you. No matter if you're doing good, if you're doing bad, you're going to always be judged. So it's best that you be judged in doing what you want to do, because you can't please everybody. You cannot please everybody. So if you can't please everybody, try to entertain everybody if it's possible.
Floyd Mayweather opened up about why he lives such a flashy lifestyle. He said it's not just to show off, it's to inspire people. The cars, jets, and cash are not just signs of wealth. For him, they are reminders that success is possible for anyone. He clearly said that his goal is to motivate others. He wants people to see his journey and believe that if he could come from nothing and make it, they can too. He believes hard work, discipline, and never giving up can change anyone's life. One thing that stood out was when he talked about his real estate. He proudly said he owns 62 apartment buildings, and none of them have partners. They are all his. For Floyd, it's not just about boxing. It's about building something that lasts. He worked quietly and smartly for years. Behind all the flash, there's real business, real ownership, and a message. Dream big and work even harder.
To my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
Stephen A. Smith has been very vocal in criticizing Floyd Mayweather's choices after retiring from boxing. He especially pointed to Mayweather's return to the ring against YouTuber-turned-boxer Logan Paul. Their fight in 2021, according to many, including Stephen A., seemed to be more about making money than proving anything about Mayweather's legacy. Mayweather, who was once at the very top of the boxing world, was called out for fighting someone like Paul. Logan Paul had very little boxing experience, especially when compared to someone like Mayweather, who had years of success in the ring. Stephen A. felt this fight didn't have real competition in it. He believed the fight was more about creating money than about the sport itself. Stephen A. said it was disappointing to see a legend like Mayweather take part in something that looked more like a show than a real boxing contest. To him, it felt like Mayweather was putting his financial goals before his reputation in the sport. Stephen A. believed this kind of move took away from Mayweather's legendary image. Instead of focusing on his amazing boxing skills, the attention shifted to money and business. In the end, Stephen A. felt the fight lowered the respect and honor that Mayweather once had in the boxing world.
As if not the greatest boxer in history, he's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining, I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
Stephen A. Smith has often shared his concerns about Floyd Mayweather's exhibition matches after retirement. He didn't agree with the types of opponents Mayweather chose to fight. While he thought the 2017 fight with Conor McGregor was fair because of McGregor's background in combat sports, he was not happy with the path Mayweather followed after that. Stephen A. noticed a pattern. He felt Mayweather was picking opponents who were not on his level, like Logan Paul, just to collect easy paydays. This, in his eyes, took away from everything Mayweather had worked so hard to build during his boxing career. Stephen A. noticed a pattern. He felt Mayweather was picking opponents who were not on his level, like Logan Paul, just to collect easy paydays. This, in his eyes, took away from everything Mayweather had worked so hard to build during his boxing career. For Stephen, boxing has always been about legacy, about testing yourself against the best in the world. But Floyd's exhibition matches didn't feel like real competition. Instead, they looked more like ways to make quick money, and that bothered Smith. Mayweather, once known for his perfect record and amazing skills, now seemed more focused on business and money than on his place in boxing history. Stephen A. believed these types of fights hurt Mayweather's legacy and made people look at him differently in the sport. The problem for Stephen A. wasn't that Mayweather was making money. He believed Floyd earned that through hard work. But what mattered to him was the reason behind the matches. To Smith, it felt like the love for real competition was lost, and that change left a mark on what used to be a legendary career.
What I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it.
Stephen A. Smith has seen up close the extravagant lifestyle that Floyd Mayweather lives. It's impossible to ignore the luxury that surrounds him. One of the most obvious signs of Mayweather's wealth is his love for luxury cars. Reports say Floyd owns over 100 cars, each one more expensive than the last. From rare Lamborghinis to customized Bugattis, Mayweather's car collection is a clear symbol of his financial success and his love for high-end vehicles. His garage holds cars that most people could only dream of. Smith, who has been close to Floyd for many years, has witnessed all of it firsthand.
What's your definition of toy?
Well, private jet, Enzo, Bugatti. Let's walk over here. I'll show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Floyd Mayweather's love for cars is just one example of his extreme lifestyle. Beyond his vehicles, he's known for spending millions on jewelry, watches, and other signs of wealth. He often shows off his success, whether through social media or interviews. Stephen A. Smith understands the business side of Mayweather's empire. He knows that Floyd's wealth didn't come only from boxing, but also from smart business deals. Mayweather's brand is built around the persona of Money Mayweather, and his financial empire goes far beyond the ring. Stephen A. acknowledges Floyd's hard work, discipline, and drive to succeed. Mayweather's ability to keep such a lavish lifestyle shows how good he is at business. He turned his name into a brand, ensuring his wealth keeps growing even after he retired from boxing.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me
Yes.
are in excess of $15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3 1.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15 million.
In a revealing interview with sports commentator Stephen A. Smith, Floyd Mayweather was asked a simple question. Did he care more about his legacy or his money? This question went straight to the heart of a major theme in Mayweather's life after retirement. Known for his money persona, Floyd didn't hesitate to answer. He admitted that throughout his career, his main focus had always been making money. This statement showed a shift in his priorities that many people have noticed since he retired from boxing. For years, Mayweather was praised as one of the best boxers of all time with an undefeated record and a huge fortune earned through smart fights and business deals. However, in this interview, Mayweather didn't seem to care as much about his legacy in boxing. Instead, he talked more about the financial side of his career. He revealed that he had made over $800 million, 0 cents, during his time as a professional fighter. While this number is impressive, it also shows that, in the later part of his career, Mayweather was focused more on making money than on solidifying his place in boxing history. Stephen A. Smith, who has followed Mayweather's career closely, was surprised by this honesty. It also helps explain some of the criticism that has followed Floyd in recent years. His decision to take exhibition fights against lower-level opponents like Logan Paul seemed to confirm what Stephen A. suspected, that money had become more important than the pursuit of greatness. For Mayweather, securing financial freedom was the most important goal, even if it meant sacrificing the true spirit and honor of boxing. In the end, it seems like Floyd's legacy may be defined more by his wealth than his achievements in the ring.
I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of 800 million.
You made money. You're gonna make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what?
Stephen A. Smith has pointed out that Floyd Mayweather's image, focused on money, has had a big impact on a new generation of athletes. According to Smith, today's young athletes don't look up to Mayweather for his amazing boxing skills, perfect footwork, or legendary ring IQ. Instead, they admire his bank account, the show he created, and the persona he built around wealth. Smith believes this change in what people admire is bad for the sport of boxing. By focusing on the money side of Mayweather's career, it sends a dangerous message to young athletes. It suggests that money is the most important thing, and it takes away from the importance of mastering the sport. Mayweather's success was once a symbol of his hard work, dedication, and skills. But now it risks being seen as a way to make money rather than a guide for becoming great in the sport. Smith is concerned that this shift in focus could change how athletes view success. Smith fears that putting so much attention on money and the spectacle could hurt the integrity of boxing. Boxing has always been about mastering your craft and proving yourself in the ring, not just about making money.
It's the businessman in Mayweather they actually love even more. As the sun clearly set on the boxing career of Mayweather, many can reflect on a lot of things about the man. He wasn't a Mike Tyson-like knockout artist, or even Tommy the Hitman Hearns. To many, he wasn't even Sugar Ray Leonard. He certainly can't be confused with Muhammad Ali or any other fighter who's ever been socially conscious. No doubt he was guilty of domestic violence, as our very own The Undefeated accurately pointed out. He definitely had his share of boring fights that didn't give the people what they actually wanted to see. But that ain't the legacy these athletes are paying attention to. What they're paying attention to instead is the $1 billion plus Mayweather has earned in his career. How box office he made himself. How he's been his own boss, answerable to no commissioner, no owner, no GMs, and barely even the fans for the last decade in achieving unprecedented wealth, fame, and control of his own name, his own brand. And how despite strenuous efforts by so many to bring him down, they simply weren't able to do it. You want to see an athlete drool? The idolized displaying deference and respect? Watch.
Stephen A. Smith has often criticized Floyd Mayweather for his constant focus on money. He has questioned whether Mayweather's obsession with wealth has overshadowed his boxing legacy. Despite this, Floyd has defended his actions, explaining that his ultimate goal was always to provide for his family. In an interview, Mayweather shared that he dedicated his entire life to boxing with the goal of securing financial stability for his loved ones. He said that he worked hard, not just for his own comfort, but also to make his mother and father millionaires and to set up wealth for future generations. Mayweather also explained that his investments were made with his grandchildren in mind. He wanted to build long-term wealth that would last beyond his boxing career. Despite his lavish displays of money, Floyd insists that his main focus has always been to create a lasting legacy for his family. Additionally, Floyd highlighted his charity work, such as playing in a cancer benefit basketball game just 24 hours after a fight. This showed that he cared about causes beyond personal wealth and wanted to make a difference in the world. Before fully adopting the Money Mayweather persona, Floyd struggled with the idea that other fighters were earning more than him. This became clear in a heated exchange with ESPN anchor Brian Kenny, who suggested that Oscar De La Hoya was a bigger money draw than Floyd. This sparked jealousy in Mayweather as he believed his achievements should have made him the highest earner in boxing, which eventually led to his shift to the money persona.
We already know what I can generate. We already know what I can do in the sport, and we already know who's the face of boxing.
You waited over a year to come back.
And I've been gone from the sport. And what these fighters done since I've been gone, together in pay-per-view, out of all the fighters, haven't topped what I've done in 2 fights.
The pay-per-view has been pretty good for Manny Pacquiao fights lately, Floyd.
They still haven't topped what I've done in 2 fights.
Well, one was with Oscar De La Hoya, who was the cash king.
I'm the cash cow, please.
Not compared to Oscar De La Hoya. Have you drawn as much as Oscar De La Hoya in pay-per-view,
man,
Floyd?
De La Hoya been on pay-per-view 1,000 times. It took me 2 times, 3.5 million homes. Me, Floyd Mayweather.
No, with Oscar De La Hoya, though.
Oscar De La Hoya ain't do nothing. Did he win?
It was a split decision loss, as a matter of fact.
Come on, man.
This early jealousy became a driving force in Mayweather's career, pushing him to align himself with high-profile, lucrative fights. It led him to focus relentlessly on maximizing his earnings, regardless of whether his opponents were truly competitive or not. Mayweather's pursuit of financial dominance changed his approach to boxing, transforming the sport by prioritizing paydays over traditional legacy building. His refusal to accept being out-earned by others set the stage for the spectacle-driven, money-focused phase of his career. This ultimately led to the controversial exhibition bouts that became the hallmark of his post-retirement years.
Well, like I said before, Oscar De La Hoya is doing one hell of a job. We got Mayweather Promotions.
What does that have to do with what I just asked you?
It's the past, the present, and the future of sports and entertainment. And I think that Leonard Ellerbe and Al Heyman is doing a hell of a job as my advisors.
Why not face the winner of the Pacquiao-Marquez fight?
I just answered your question.
No, you didn't. I must have missed it. What are you talking about?
I said Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerbe are my advisors, and they done one hell of a job with Floyd Mayweather's career.
So they didn't want you to face Pacquiao right away?
I'm not ducking and dodging nobody. You know what it is.
No, what is it? Is Bob Arum?
I got a list. Whenever it happens, it happens.
Is it because Pacquiao's promoter is Bob Arum? Is that the reason?
Well, you got to talk to Bob Arum, not me.
Tank Davis has pointed out Mayweather's reluctance to let any fighter surpass his achievements, revealing an ego-driven mindset that holds back the growth of new talent. Davis suggests that this insecurity reflects a fragile self-esteem that wealth and success can't hide. By trying to keep others beneath him, Mayweather unintentionally stifles progress within the sport. Such an approach, driven by the fear of being overshadowed, is unsustainable and could ultimately lead to isolation both personally and professionally. It shows the dangers of letting ego control one's legacy instead of embracing the natural evolution of the sport.
Mayweather set you up against Pedraza. Did he really think Pedraza was gonna beat you? Later.
He didn't know how good I was and how I would like handle the situation, so he just threw me out there.
Why do you think he did that?
He was hurt. I mean, not even hurt. He was just bent. First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the fuck would you say Terrence Crawford should fight He's finna be there. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
Use next in line, just so you next in line.
Is there like a
And last question, guys, gotta wrap
is there like a love-hate for Floyd though? Like,
yeah,
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And he
Outfield is.
Cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this, I'm that, and
Thank you very much. I will see you at 5:30.
it just I don't know.
Floyd Mayweather has always been known for flaunting his wealth, often showing off stacks of cash, luxury watches, and expensive possessions. His love for displaying his financial success, whether by posting pictures of money on tables or showcasing his extravagant lifestyle, became a key part of his money persona. However, this constant display of wealth led to criticism, particularly from Oscar De La Hoya. De La Hoya warned that athletes like Floyd, who spend lavishly and show off their fortunes, often end up going broke early in life. Though his words seemed like a warning, they reflected concerns about the unsustainable nature of such a lifestyle. Over time, Mayweather's lavish lifestyle seemed to catch up with him. Despite his initial financial success, reports suggested that he had mismanaged his wealth and became more financially vulnerable. This contrast between his earlier money persona and later struggles served as a cautionary tale, highlighting the dangers of excess without proper financial planning.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, limited edition AP, all factory, 1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section. We like to call this the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s. I heard in the song you can get the biggest Chanel bag in the store if you want it. Well, it's the biggest Chanel bag in the world. I got this bag from Karl Lagerfeld. R.I.P. May he rest in peace. Money getting like myself, always showing out, always talking like 1.8 million. You know how it is. Check it out. Let them know it's all hundreds. Money made all day.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.